Before you take your next bite, think about this. Your body wasn't built for supermarkets, it was built for survival, in a world where food almost never came easy. There was a time when humans didn't hunt first, they waited in the shadows, watching, until something else made the kill. And by the time they finally stepped in, even the predators were gone. What was left behind is something most people today wouldn't even recognize as food. But that's exactly what shaped your brain, your cravings, your hunger. And here's the part no one really talks about: those ancient habits didn't disappear. They stayed with you, quietly, over thousands of years. They followed you all the way into your kitchen. So the next time you open your fridge, pause for a second and ask yourself one simple question: who taught you what food really is? Roughly 3 million years ago, your earliest ancestors were not hunters. They were scavengers. When a lion killed an antelope on the African savanna, it ate the best parts first, like muscle, liver, and heart. Then hyenas came and finished the rest, breaking bones, skin, and everything left behind. By the time humans arrived, only scraps were left. Thick bones that even hyenas could not easily break. But early humans did not see this as useless. This was their survival. Their most important food was bone marrow. They would come close to a dead animal, pick the strongest bones, and break them open using simple stone tools. Inside was soft, fatty marrow. They ate it with their hands, raw. For them, this was a valuable meal, because no other animal could reach it. It was locked deep inside hard bones. They also ate brain matter from cracked skulls. It contained a high amount of fat and energy. This is one reason your body today still reacts strongly to fatty food. It is an old survival memory inside your biology. Early humans also ate insects like termites, grubs, and beetles. These were not backup food, but normal food sources. This way of living continued for a very long time, generation after generation. Then everything started to change with fire. The earliest evidence of controlled fire comes from Wonderwork Cave in South Africa, and it is about 1 million years old. Fire allowed humans to cook food. Meat, roots, and bones became easier to eat and digest. Cooking made food more efficient. It gave more energy with less effort. Over time, this changed the human body. Our stomachs became smaller, while more energy was used by the brain. The brain needs a huge amount of energy, so better food was required to support it. Cooking made this possible. Because of this change, human diets expanded. By around 300,000 years ago, humans were eating many different types of food like large animals, fish, plants, fruits, nuts, and anything they could find in nature. Mammoth, bison, wild horse, and reindeer on the open plains. Fish and shellfish from rivers and coastal waters. Roots, wild grains, berries, nuts, and mushrooms from the land itself. Eggs taken from nests. And honey, especially honey. The Hadza, a hunter-gatherer group in Tanzania, still live in a way that reflects how humans ate before farming. Around 15% of their calories come from wild honey. They climb tall, dangerous trees, often getting stung many times, yet they return again and again. Because in the natural world, nothing delivers energy as fast and as dense as honey. And here is what is strange. That same craving still exists inside you today. Sugar. Your brain is built for it. For hundreds of thousands of years, sugar gave humans two things at once: quick energy for immediate use, and extra fuel stored as fat. That stored fat was what helped survival when food became uncertain. A dripping honeycomb was one of the richest foods early humans ever found. This system is still active in you. Your body cannot clearly separate natural honey from a modern donut. Over time, modern food systems have taken this ancient response and built entire industries around it. Soda, candy, cereal, sauces, even bread, many packaged foods are just sugar in different forms. That is why it feels so hard to resist. Your body still behaves like it needs to store energy for uncertain times. But sugar was not the only powerful craving shaped by the past. Meat was just as important. A single mammoth could feed an entire group for weeks. One successful hunt saved hundreds of hours that would otherwise be spent searching for small food sources like berries or roots. That extra time changed everything. It allowed humans to raise children, learn skills, build tools, and share knowledge around fire. This is why your body still strongly responds to protein. Many modern cravings come from what once ensured survival. But there is one part of our past that is harder to understand. In Gough's Cave in England, researchers discovered human bones dating back around 14,700 years. And what they found told a complex story. The skulls were carefully cleaned using stone tools. The face and base were removed. The remaining parts were shaped into cup-like forms. The long bones were also broken in a similar way to how early humans processed animal bones for marrow. And here is where it becomes more complicated. This was not a situation of pure starvation. The same site also contained remains of horses, deer, and other animals, meaning food sources were available. There was plenty to eat. A 2017 study estimated how many calories a human body can provide, around 125,000 calories. A single bison contains about 600,000. A mammoth can reach up to 3 million. Compared to that, humans were not efficient food. They were a choice. At Gough's Cave, a forearm bone was found with a carved zigzag pattern made after the meat was already gone. This suggests it was not done out of pure survival. It looks more like ritual behavior. And this site is not alone. Similar remains have been discovered across Europe, in Germany, France, Spain, and Croatia. For thousands of years, in different places, humans sometimes did this. Not always because they had no choice, but because it carried meaning we still don't fully understand. And then it gets even stranger. Early humans did not only eat fresh meat. They also ate meat that had started to rot. After a hunt, they could not consume everything at once. So they stored it in caves, buried it, or left it in cold streams for days, weeks, sometimes even months. By the time they returned, the meat was often decomposed, full of insects, and heavily decayed. Yet it was still eaten. Some researchers even believe it may have been preferred in certain cases. Because partially rotten meat is easier to process. Bacteria break it down, making it softer and easier to absorb. Some of those bacteria also produce B vitamins that are useful for the human body. Your body still carries traces of that history. Many foods we eat today are based on the same idea. Fermented foods like cheese, yogurt, sourdough, beer, wine, soy sauce, and pickles are all forms of controlled decay, slowed down and made safe. Even your taste for cheese did not begin in modern dairies. It goes back much further, shaped by ancient survival environments. And this connects directly to your cravings today. Fat, salt, sugar, rich flavors, these are not random preferences. They are survival signals. Your body does not understand supermarkets or refrigerators. It only follows one rule: take energy when it is available. Eat what is rich. Eat what is rare. Eat while you can. Because tomorrow is uncertain. That is why at night, when you open the fridge without real hunger, it still feels automatic. Your brain is running an ancient survival system, still scanning, still reacting, still trying to protect you. But the world it was built for no longer exists. If a modern human went back 50,000 years, survival would be extremely difficult. Finding water would not be obvious. Many plants would be unknown or dangerous. Hunting, climbing trees for honey, or breaking bones for marrow would require skills most people no longer have. The land would look full of food, but most of it would not be usable without deep knowledge. But the reverse is even more shocking. If a human from 50,000 years ago stepped into your kitchen today, they would see something almost impossible to understand. Cold sweet drinks sealed in metal. Bread made without hunting or gathering. Milk stored for weeks without spoiling. Fruits from distant continents. Food that requires no chase, no risk, no survival effort. To them, it would look like abundance beyond imagination. For most of human history, life meant hunger, effort, and uncertainty. And you might be one of the first generations who does not live that way, yet your body still behaves like you do.